certain equipment being used, certain tools that get used or whatever. It's so much more.
Tools. Hi, and welcome to Love at First Plot, a podcast for all romance books. Whether you're into enemies to lovers, second chances, or forbidden flings, we've got your next book boyfriend lined up.
I'm Jess.
I'm Hannah.
And I'm Lynn.
And today we're going to be convincing you to start reading dark romance. This episode will be a deep dive into the genre, and we'll let you know which books to start with, which ones we love, and everything else you need to know in between before you start your dark romance journey if you're new to this. Before we do get started, we have to do a content warning because there are going to be dark romance themes mentioned in this episode. So the genre often explores sensitive and triggering subject matter. The books we mention in this episode may include violence, abuse, captivity, manipulation, coercion, toxic or obsessive relationships, non-consensual or dubious consent sexual situations, power imbalances, psychological trauma, death, and morally grey characters. That was a lot.
Sounds fun,
all?
guys.
I think I just needed to
Sounds
cover
fun.
all the bases because there's a lot of books mentioned here. So.
Is that all? I'm still not convinced.
No, there's probably more. It's not limited to that list, but they may include that. So please engage with care, check individual book trigger warnings before you read them, and prioritize your well-being whilst reading.
Mm-hmm. We won't hate you if you skip this episode. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's crazy when you say them out loud.
Yeah.
I open the book, I see the content warning and I'm like, mm-hmm.
That's okay. Keep
Also,
going.
the way I've been reading dark romance this whole time, and I'm like, nah, it's not dark romance.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, oh,
Maybe it is. Maybe it is.
Maybe it is.
Even just violence, and then that classifies it.
yeah. Which show was it? Was it The Lion King? Did you know The Lion King, or was it Beauty and the Beast? Beauty and the Beast used to be G-rated, and now it's PG because someone dies and there's a fight scene. Yeah.
Oh, not the fact that
Oh.
she's held captive by a beast?
Valid
And she
point.
gets Stockholm syndrome.
Valid point.
I don't know. Lynn, do you want to tell us what a dark romance is?
So what is a dark romance? Dark romance differs from contemporary romance, paranormal romance. So I'm just going to go into kind of the basics of each genre. So contemporary romance is like normal people, modern day setting. It's got a lighter tone. Mm-hmm. Paranormal romance, supernatural beings, magical settings, and the tone depends. It can be light or it can be darker depending on what you're reading. And then a dark romance is more taboo. There's more danger, morally grey, love stories. It can happen in any setting. So it can be contemporary, paranormal, fantasy, etc. There's often a lot of red flag type of behavior and some illegal activities occur.
Just some. Usually all.
Depending on what you're reading, some books might have a lot, some books not so much.
When it comes to like core elements, generally they are like morally grey love interests, having taboo themes, having blurred consent, and also different power dynamics. So I guess really what makes dark romance dark, I feel like Hannah might be able to answer this one.
Yeah, this is Hannah's not main genre, it's one of Hannah's top read genres, I guess.
What's your favourite genre, no?
Oh, okay, yes.
Yes?
It's okay. It's honestly weird doing this and like reading it out loud. I feel like I'm reading this out loud and I'm listening to it back and I'm like, these are actually really crazy themes to say them out loud. But like in a book, it's very fictional, guys. It's all fictional.
Yeah.
It's easy to understand what is real life and what isn't. I think
Yeah.
if you can't determine those boundaries, then
Yeah.
maybe
It's not
this
for you.
might not be the right genre for you.
Yeah. It's just, you can love these things in books, but I'm not, wanting someone to come stalk me. That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's not a real life.
It's purely a work of fiction. I think it also depends on like what kind of reader you are, because there's some books that I've read that are apparently dark that I haven't realized that they're dark until someone else has mentioned them. So I think it's more kind of what your limits are as a reader yourself, like what you're happy to deal with, how many triggers you need, if you're able to determine if it's a work of fiction or if it's non-fiction, essentially.
And it is a spectrum. Like we've got here that it is a spectrum. It can be really dark and it can also be like not that dark. So for example, and this is ChatGPT defining this, but they've defined Anna Huang's Twisted series as dark romance. So for me, I would classify that as contemporary romance. But now looking back at these themes, there are some
Elements.
darker themes mentioned in those books, which makes it kind of sit in the dark romance category. But obviously you have other authors writing very much darker books out there
Yeah.
that would kind of make the Twisted series look light in comparison. So
Yeah.
they're not all
Didn't.
super dark.
Yeah. I didn't feel that they were dark when I was reading them. Like there's obviously some elements, but like I guess because I lean into the morally grey love interest, male lead, that billionaire mafia romance type of thing, I didn't see it as dark at all.
Yeah, I think that's the same for me. I think the reason why I didn't think I was reading dark romance already was because in my head it was like haunting Adeline dark. Like we're
Yeah.
talking really dark, like
Yeah.
wanting to marry a criminal kind of thing.
Yeah.
But like if we're talking about these other books, like Anna Huang books, it's not like I haven't read them, but I've not
Yeah.
really considered them all that dark.
Yeah.
A note on mafia romance, and I think it's funny it's brought up now because I never classified mafia romance as like
Dark.
dark
Yeah.
romance because I
Same.
think it's the same thing where I would be like dark romance would be very dark for me to consider
Yeah.
it dark romance.
Yeah.
Mafia romance was its own thing.
It's like in movies, right? When I think of it in a movie sense, a movie with mafias, I don't consider that dark. That just means the plot is mafia.
Yeah.
So when
Yeah.
I'm reading it in a romance
Yeah.
setting, it just means it's a mafia contemporary romance. Like I'm not
Yeah.
thinking of it like, oh, this is actually dark.
A dark
themed.
romance. Yeah.
So like, for example, I recently read Pirate Girls by Penelope Douglas and she's known for dark. I'm pretty sure she's known for dark, right? But when I read the book, the only thing that I could see that I felt was dark was like the mention or the threat that there's rape in there, but nothing went along
Right.
those lines. So for me, I was like, was it really dark or was it just really like dark bullying? Like
Yeah.
it never eventuated. So it's interesting.
I feel like there are also sometimes it can be darker like in terms of mental state. Like if the main character or female character has some like traumatic thing that they go through and that kind of like sets the tone for the plot of the book. You
Yep.
sometimes see it as a recurring theme. I'm trying to think of an example. The Royal Elite series by Rena Kent. But they were like children growing up and they went through some traumatic stuff and that kind of impacted who they are as people now and how that trauma has like made them make bad decisions along the way, really. And it's kind of the foundation.
I feel like, but it almost sounds like dark romance is looking at more complex characters where morals are questioned.
Yeah.
100%.
I think that's kind of the key thing between all of these books, right?
100%.
Yeah. I think dark romance also explores a lot more of like the taboo kind of subjects more. So it's just stuff that isn't as PG, family friendly type stuff as your contemporary romances or your romanticy type of elements. But in saying that, some romanticy parts do, like if there's like a torture scene or if there's something like that, is that not technically dark as well?
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Yep. And I do see people describing books now as like dark romantasy or dark mafia romance. Like they do tag on dark at the beginning of it
Yeah.
as like a precursor to
Yeah.
what you're getting into.
Dark romance was always more like kink exploration. I think that's how I kind of thought of it. Like the
yeah.
darker the kink exploration, the darker the book.
Yeah.
So it's like, but then if you think like on that note, Deep End was kink exploration, but
not
that was not, that's not dark. That's
Yeah.
contemporary.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
myth busting.
Yeah.
It's getting blurrier now, I think. But I think
Yeah.
before it used to be a lot clearer, but now it's getting blurrier. And I do want to say, like, I mean, if you're going to the bookstore and you're wondering what's a dark romance or what's a contemporary romance, like, honestly, I think a lot of the dark romances, they have those covers that are like
Dark.
literally darker.
Yeah.
Like, they're more likely to be like black
Yeah.
or have,
Yeah.
I don't know, like skulls on the cover, like more darker images and
Skulls,
graphics.
snakes, roses
Snakes
are
and
really
roses,
like.
yeah.
Yeah.
So definitely not like the cartoony covers that we're seeing. Those
Yeah.
that sit in the more contempt, like for the brighter colors, that's more contempt.
Yeah.
Usually if you pick up a book that's got like, more black in it, it's the title is not as fluffy.
Yeah. It's not a court of something and something. That's a romantasy.
I mean, there is one that's like a court of things so lovely or something.
Yes.
And I think that actually is a dark romantasy.
Yeah.
I think I might have read that.
Yeah, don't trust any titles anymore. Just double check.
Yeah.
And then there are some titles that sound really dark, but they're not.
They're not.
It's very hard to tell, but I
Yeah.
usually tell by the book cover. I think for me, that's usually a telltale sign of
Yeah.
what I'm getting
Alternatively, the list of trigger warnings is something that you can always look
Yes.
at as well.
I mean, a safe bet is always going to your booksellers and asking them what they'd recommend. So Scarlett at Romancing the Novel would really know which ones to start off with when it comes to dark romance.
Yeah. Okay, so common misconceptions versus reality. So some topics that come up when we talk about dark romance is this idea of it glorifying abuse or versus it exploring boundaries safely in fiction. So again, that taking this back to the idea of whether it's fictional or reality and just understanding what the difference is. And I guess it's kind of it's a funny one. I think I do see people online talking about how they refuse to read dark romance because it talks about this theme and we shouldn't be glorifying this particular theme. I totally get that. But at the same time, I'm it is still fictional. To me, it's almost I treat it like a fantasy book. I know it's not.
It's a bit like two sides of a coin, right? One, these books may encourage more negative thinking in real life. So it really depends on where your boundary sits. But at the same time, you can flip that and see it as this is a safe way for someone to explore these thoughts rather than acting on it in real life.
Yep.
So it literally can go both ways. And I feel like that's always going to be a heated conversation.
Yeah.
Does that mean that young teenagers should be reading books like this? Probably not.
Definitely not.
Not
Definitely
unless
not.
they're having very open conversations with their friends, their family, whoever their community is to understand what is morally good and what is morally questionable and wrong.
But also, are they able to see what's real and what's not real as well? Can they see that this isn't what you should idolize as a relationship going forward when they have a relationship or whatever, stuff like that.
Yeah, so that kind of intros what dark romance is. This episode feels so serious. Oh my gosh.
I mean, okay, to make it a little bit lighter,
Yeah.
we can go into some of the tropes and themes and maybe link it up to some books that we can think of or that we like around it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, let's start off with the first one. A popular trope in this genre is captive and captor scenarios.
This is totally, is this not Beauty and the Beast? Have we not? This is what we're just talking about.
Stockholm Syndrome, guys.
Stockholm Syndrome.
There are a lot of Beauty and the Beast retellings that
there
are darker.
Yeah.
Akatar is not dark.
No.
Definitely mafia books, I feel like. There's
They
always
do.
a scene where the female gets captured and then someone has to go and save her.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
very, very common theme.
But yeah, another captor situation. So I just read The Never King. And it very much is that situation. It's a why choose, but basically Peter Pan comes, he's taking home one of
The darlings.
the darlings, history of women, and that very much is a captive captain dark romance scenario. Another popular trope though is enemies to lovers. Your favourites?
Yay! Enemies to lovers, of course.
Yeah, you'll never see friends to lovers here because that would be extremely
That's too
confusing.
dark. That's too dark for friends to lovers.
In terms of enemies to lovers, though, a lot of the Rena Kemp books have this enemies to lovers vibe. There's always some sort of bullying that goes on. They come from different families or they're from rival
Gangs.
rival gangs.
Yeah.
So there's always some sort of enemies or forbidden romance.
But I mean, on that note too, bullying is a popular trope.
Yes.
Yep.
Super
Is it
popular
in there?
trope.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's not in there.
It's not in there, but it
Bullying
is.
okay.
is.
Bullying
Bully
is,
romances,
yeah.
I think, automatically just sit in the dark category.
Yep.
Can I plug Zodiac Academy? The ultimate bully romance.
And it is meant to
Yes.
be true enemies to lovers.
Yep.
So
It's written in the stars. It really is.
we've also got mafia and organized crimes gangs and whatnot too, which actually now that I'm thinking about it, Penelope Douglas, Pirate Girls was that. So that kind of makes sense.
Yep.
We've got age gaps.
Yep.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, I'm wondering.
It
Why?
depends. It depends on okay, I've definitely read dark romances with age gaps, and I think there was one, is it Sarah Kate?
Is she the one that does the one?
Mercy Praise.
Oh yes, I think
Yes.
I have read that one.
Yeah,
I've
one of
read
them-
one of those.
One of them is definitely an age gap, I think.
I guess it's because with an age gap comes a power
Power
imbalance.
imbalance.
Yep.
There you
Often.
go.
So there's a money imbalance. There's
Yeah.
Yeah. And it usually ties in with the whole billionaire.
Mafia.
Yeah.
Yep.
Again, there's a crossover of
There's
tropes
a
and
theme. There's a
You know.
theme.
We also have in here monster romance overlap. So now I'm thinking, is Kiss of the Basilisk actually a dark romance? Because in my head I was like, no, it's not. But we're talking about girls being trained to become
Yeah. fine. Yeah.
I guess so.
Is it?
It was violent. They had violent sex.
Did
yes. Yeah.
Actually, yeah, there was
She
some
got broken.
non-consensual
Her
stuff.
pelvis.
Remember? That's based on that.
Do you remember
The
her
scene no
pelvis?
longer exists in my
Yeah.
head. That was kind of consensual though. So was it dark? But there was definitely some non-consensual stuff in there.
Oh my god, that's
Yeah,
the
there
other
was.
one.
Yes.
Yes, the consent
So it
thing.
is.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
It
Can we
is.
just derail a bit? Like I want to talk about the Rita Kent books and how like all the latest books from Rita Kent
Non-consensual.
all have like consensual or non-consensual
CNC.
consent. Yeah, CNC.
Oh.
What's the actual consent non-consensual?
Yeah, consensual non-consent.
Yeah.
CNC.
Yeah.
Do you know how I learned that?
Fan
I
fiction.
don't want to know.
How did you learn it?
Ironside Academy.
Oh God.
Oh my god, is Ironside a dark romance?
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah.
Oh my god.
I know. It is. Think about everything that happens in there. Yeah, anyway.
Everything is a dark romance, guys.
If you look
Pretty
into it, everything is.
It's
Yeah.
just it gives good plot. Like honestly, if you're getting taken and you have some like mafia boss coming to save you, that's such good plot.
Why would you not want that?
Money.
Yeah.
Think of all the
Think
money.
of the money. Like
But
I think just with these books, like there's always like the motive. I think it's always about the motive. Like you're
Yep.
either like psychologically deranged,
Yep.
which is the motive,
Yeah.
or you're mafia, you're a billionaire, you're
Yep.
like running some sex club that earns in millions.
Yep.
Like there's always a motive and it makes the plot so much more interesting to me.
Yep.
it's this escapism element.
Yeah.
Like you
Yeah.
read fantasy to escape.
Yeah.
Contemporary romance is like a bit of an escape, but at the same time it's more easily relatable.
Yeah.
And it helps that all the guys are really hot.
Yes.
Yeah, they're never going to be described as not hot.
Yeah.
Even if they're physically not described as your type, the aura is your type.
The aura.
Yeah. The aura is just really
Yeah.
hot.
Like the only time I would consider having a stalker is if they look like Zayd.
I was going to mention, yeah, like some of the key things that we have here is that like stalker romances are big in this genre. Masked men are big in this genre.
Rita Kent,
Like
Masked
it's
Men.
ultimate touch her and die stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
You do not
Yeah.
get, if you love Touch
Yeah.
Her and Die, you will not get you will not get a Touch Her and Die as strong as like
Yeah,
in Dark
a
Romance.
dark romance.
They will truly kill you. Like they will. I've seen it happen. They'll do anything. They'll chop off hands, fingers, like touch her, boom, done.
Die. Everything gone.
So good.
Yeah.
I mean, that's bad. Don't do that.
In real life.
In real
We
life.
do not
The
condone
figment of
this.
your
We
imagination.
don't support this
It's okay.
in real life.
Oh man, it's really all out there now.
God damn. It's gonna need some kind of trigger warning.
We've
some
already done it.
kinda,
We've
like-
already done it.
We can add another one in. I think it's fine.
Yeah, I might just touch on the other thing. I think
Yeah,
it's-
Hannah really wants to do this next part right there.
I'm just
I
like
support
in
it.
terms of like it's nothing new. Like really, if you think about it, in terms of like morally grey characters, we have been seeing them from childhood growing up. If you think of The Lion King and Scar,
Yep.
like these morally grey characters. I feel like recently this trend that's been going around with the "Hear Me Out" cake. Like
Yep.
you see people be like, "Hear me out," this character. There's like a lot that pop up. The latest Puss in Boots movie with like the wolf, the
Sorry,
big bad
did not
wolf.
expect that.
Sorry, like guys, you have to watch this movie and watch the big bad wolf.
What?
There's so much aura. He's also, yeah, probably.
I'm gonna search
Okay.
up what
I think
he
his
looks
name's
like.
Death.
Was it also written by,
A woman.
yeah,
What's it?
who's
Puss
probably in
Boots
her
Wolf?
Gen Z millennial phase
Yeah.
now?
No, it was so like
Whistle.
Yeah. He has a whistle.
I
His
mean-
name's literally Death, and he has so much aura.
But I feel like K-pop Demon Hunters is like
Oh my god!
the biggest
Yes.
thing of this.
Yes,
Because we are
Genu.
talking about literal villains who are
Yes.
like, are they going to get a redemption arc? And we're pining for it.
Yes.
But
And
then he
it's-
does the little things and you're like,
Yes.
oh.
There's something so beautiful about knowing how dangerous someone is, just to find out that they're actually there for a good reason.
Yeah.
Like they have a good intention, but they do bad things to get to the
The
good.
good. Yeah.
Oh, the definition of morally grey is beautiful. Like chef's kiss.
Apparently not in Diabound though.
No.
No, that's. I don't think that's morally grey.
It's just black.
He's just wrong.
Also, I love how Hannah and I both
Don't
just
mention
shut
names.
down whenever Time is mentioned if it's not Stark. If anyone else is mentioned, we're like,
The way it triggers you guys is the funniest thing.
Yeah, so we can't be talking about dark romance and the genre and the tropes and the themes if we're not going to talk about books that we recommend to you guys, because I think that's like the core of this episode, is like letting you know the key names in the genre, which authors you should look out for, some notable books, and also listing books that can help you get started into the genre if you're a bit apprehensive about what you're getting into. So I might just kick off and start with the names of really popular authors in the genre. I've already mentioned Rita Kent multiple times, but I think she is the queen of dark romance. Like,
I actually think she is.
Yeah.
I think she just dominates it.
yeah.
Yeah.
She's written about like 40 plus books, and I think I've read like
All
every
40 plus?
single one of
Yeah.
them. And I've read them all like within a day. Just like not all at the same time, like one book in a day. And then I'll just like binge read all of them.
Yep.
So I totally recommend Rita Kent.
Okay.
Always. Forever and always. Do you want to mention Penelope Douglas?
I can mention Penelope Douglas. Mind you, I've only read one of her books, but I think she might potentially be the queen of like taboo relationships.
Yep.
So like the one I read was like cousins, but they're more childhood friends. So, but it's like they're cousins. The one she is known for is Credence, which
Yep.
I'm pretty sure is like step siblings and step uncles. So there's a bit of a thread there. I think I want to give Credence a go. In my head, I'm
Okay.
like, it's step, it's fine. So maybe I'm the right target market.
Maybe.
Okay. So we have Leigh Rivers, who I think was the one who did the Insatiable.
So I actually had never heard of Leigh Rivers until you recommended that book.
Yep.
I read Insatiable. Well, I read 67% of it. I put it
pretty
down.
far.
I couldn't finish it because it was it dark? Yes, absolutely. Was it?
A bit fucked up.
No, it wasn't the fucked up part. That it wasn't even that. I'm gonna say this was leaning towards more contempt. It was the miscommunication. There was a lot of miscommunication, and I
never
couldn't do it. It was too much. It went for too long. It went for the whole book.
Fair.
You've also got H.D. Carlton, who
Classic.
maybe actually is the queen of dark
Classic.
romance, because this is the one people were pulling quotes from that were actually like, what the fuck?
Haunting Adeline, everyone.
Yeah.
So Hunting
Sorry,
Adeline.
that's the exact
Yeah.
one.
Yep.
Yep.
She has done quite a few books now. I think they suit a very specific type of audience.
Yep.
So not necessarily for everyone. But I
Yeah.
think Hannah's read.
I've read both. I've read the duet of Haunting and Hunting Adeline. I think a couple of things to note here. Is it a dark romance? Yes. I just want to disclaim that it's darker than you think.
Yep.
The romance element is definitely dark, but I think it's the plot outside of the romance that's extremely dark. It may, like the themes, definitely pay attention to the trigger warnings at the start of the book, because I kind of skimmed through it, got to the parts in the book where things were happening, and I was like, oh, this is a bit too much. Like, it was getting really, really uncomfortable. But that being said, it is a killer dark romance. Like,
Okay.
the idea, like his nickname for the female main character is Little Mouse. If you can imagine,
A little bit
this is the
prey
Yeah.
vibe.
like literally hunting Adeline.
Yeah.
But stalker romances are a thing, you know?
They are a thing,
Yeah.
and I will read them.
It's on my list. I actually think I will one day.
Wasn't
still
Lights?
don't
You read
think I
Lights Out.
will.
I think Lights Out was a good.
Lights Out is a
segue.
much lighter version
Yeah.
of it.
Lights Out. I also feel like Butcher and Blackbird
Yeah.
as well. Butcher and Blackbird's more just kind of like gore factor as opposed to anything else. So I think Lights Out, they both kind of lean more towards like a dark rom-com
Yeah.
than a
that's what I've
dark
heard.
romance entirely. Yeah.
And just shouting out to you, if you do decide to read Lights Out, please do it as an audiobook because
Yeah.
it's so funny.
Yeah.
actually
It's so
so
much better
funny.
as an audiobook than a physical book.
I might move on to notable books within the genre. One of the really popular, this has been popular for a long time, the Mindfuck series by C.M. Owens and S.T. Abbey. I think that's been like the dark romance, like since I remember getting into reading romance books. It's always been.
Been like, yeah, I've seen it always pop up. I feel like it sits more as like the back not the back burner book, but it's like the hidden one that you don't really realize how popular it is.
Yeah. Because I don't think it's a traditionally published.
No, it's an indie published book.
Yeah.
Indie.
And it's like, I think it's like 10 small books put into like one big
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
like anthology. So that one I did read like the first one or two, and I didn't finish it. I think it was like just maybe it was the writing or just like the plot. It didn't hook me as much as other books did, so I didn't actually finish it. But I know people have like literally yelled at me to finish the series, and it's like it's worth it. I'm like,
Yeah.
We've also got The Ritual by Chantal Tessier.
Yep.
I've seen the covers. I know it.
I have
like it's
also
on my
seen them.
TBR list,
Yeah.
but I've not gotten to it yet. Have either of you read it?
yes, but it's a blur. It's a blur in the midst of like the deep depths of all the dark romance books that I read. I want to say it would give similar vibes to Never King. Just take away the why choose factor, I think. But similar.
I might. I might try that then because I didn't. I think I did enjoy The Never King. I think I never gave it any ratings because I didn't want anyone to know that I'd read that series until some people stalk your story graph.
I thought you just didn't like, you read it, but you didn't like it enough to rate it. And here I was reading it being like, oh, this is like decent. I'm like, I'm enjoying this.
Damn. Dude, I get that though, because there was a time where I was reading Rina Ken and I was like, I don't know who to talk to about this book because I don't know if anyone else reads dark romance and I don't know if I want anyone to know that I read. But now I'm like, everyone. Rina Ken is the shit. Stop caring. On that note, the next book that I've got here, God of Malice by Rina Ken, one of her more recent series. God of Malice. Like, what can I say? Masked Men, stalker romance, touch her and die. Like, there's everything in this. Everything that you could possibly want in a dark romance.
What's that series called?
I think it's A Legacy of Gods.
Okay, yes. Yeah, I think that's right.
Something like that.
So that series is complete now. So I picked up one out of order and I picked up God of War, which is the last book in the series, which isn't as dark and does name drop quite a lot.
Yes.
Yep.
So I still enjoyed it, but I definitely think maybe do read that one in order.
Yeah, so here's the thing with Rina Ken. All her books are in the same world. So you will get name drops from every single book that you pick up from her, regardless of series. They will always name drop. You can kind of read it as a standalone, but you might get
The full
confused.
effect.
Yeah.
Okay.
To get the full vision and to actually care about the characters, I think you need to
Do all
Yeah.
that.
read. So, I mean, if you're going to start from the first series.
Book 1. Yeah, not book 6.
Which leads into the next part, which is books to start with to get introduced to the genre. So I have put that first series here. So the Royal Elite series. The first book is called Deviant King. So that's Rina Kent, obviously. I started with that series. That was the first kind of like book that I read from her. Again, obsessed, finished it in a day, read the rest of the series like within a week. And then you'll find that like the characters in there are kind of like the start of this entire universe that she creates. So they're all kind of interconnected.
There's a lot of interconnectedness.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
I feel like that's pretty common in most romances, though, that a series that can be read standalone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another one that you've probably seen on the shelves of like Kmart and Big W and whatnot, but we didn't actually put on this list, is the Emily McIntyre series. She writes Never After series.
Yes.
So like it's Hooked,
Scarred, Hexed, something else.
There's a whole list of them, and I think they actually can be read proper standalone.
Yep.
So again, I did the thing where I read the last book in the series. I read Hexed. They're based off fairy tales.
Yep.
So this one that I read was based off Little Mermaid.
Yep.
And it was a mafia story.
Yeah.
I can see the dark. I enjoyed it. So I feel like that's probably a good entry point as well. I don't know how dark they actually get though.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that is a good
Starting point, yeah.
It's not as dark as like Haunting Adeline. I would never recommend that as the first book to read.
Unless you want to be traumatized.
Just start from the bottom and work your way up. I have put on this list Twisted Love by Anna Huang, purely because upon reflection, perhaps it is
Kinda
darker.
dark.
Yeah. I think there is. I think some of the plot towards the end, what Alex goes through, is a bit dark.
There is a bit of kidnapping and stuff in there too.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll chuck that in there. But again, as you mentioned earlier, it's a bit more on the other end of the spectrum.
It's the
So if
starting
you're,
point.
yeah, if you're into contemporary romance and you kind of want to dip your toes in, I would start there.
Yeah.
In all honesty, you've probably already read this book. If you wanted to get more of those themes, you can start diving deeper into the genre.
We've already mentioned it too, but you know, Lights Out, anything by Nevessa Allen, they're pretty easy entry points where they explore some of the taboo topics, but it's done in a manner that's consensual and funny.
Yep.
I think Butcher and Blackbird, Lynn would probably say is the
also
same.
the same. Yeah, Butcher and Blackbird, like I said before, it does lean more towards like the gore and the shock factor of things as opposed to being a darker taboo romance. And it is more of like a dark romance comedy as opposed to anything else.
Let us know if you guys have read any of these or if you have any other recommendations. I am always open to dark romance recommendations. Please come to me.
I have too many on my list now, right now.
Yeah.
We need to get through them all.
I feel like I reckon I've just read some stuff that are dark romance and I just haven't thought
Never
that they're dark
realised.
romances. Even like with like fanfics and stuff with kind of
yeah.
torture, slavery, all those morally grey elements that they have in those ones. It just hasn't really clicked to me that it's probably dark.
Yeah. Looking at that original content warning, but like
Yep.
if you really classified it as anything with violence is dark, like a lot of things come under that category.
Yeah.
I think it's just now with the amount, like it's a bit saturated now. So when we think of dark, we think of like really dark. It has to hit all the boxes in order for it to be like dark romance. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of books that would probably sit under dark.
Yep. Side note question though, which was one of the questions I wrote in my notes. Do you think a gothic romance counts as a dark romance? Do you think it kind of toes the line, or is that like in a different genre?
It depends, because I've read a lot of the gothic romances that I have read are dark romances, but not like it's gothic for a different reason. That's more of like the environment that they're in or like the tone of the book.
Yeah.
But the book itself was dark because the plot was dark.
Yep.
I just remembered one other author. Sorry, jumping around. Runix.
Yes.
Holy shit.
Yes.
Like, because you said gothic romance.
Yeah.
And Gothic Hana and her newer one, Enigma.
Dark.
Amazing. And her original, like, her Mafia series, like
The Predator.
Yeah, the Emperor, the Syndicate, all of that.
Those ones are
amazing.
Darker. Yep. Sorry, I forgot
haven't
about
read
that.
it.
You get on that.
Yeah.
It's too many to get on. When Lynn reads Ironside,
Oh.
Girl, you talk about Ironside so much that I think I want to reread it. And I still need to finish it. I haven't read the last book yet.
Literally first time I picked up that book.
It's like last year.
Yeah, it was mid last year, like around June.
She talked about it so much, guys, when she started talking about it.
Literally every time a book was released every 6 months. So I already had 3 books when I first read it. Then the next book got re-released, so I read the 4th. Then in the lead up of the 5th, I read all 4 again. Then in the...
So guys, in case you can't tell, Jess is really obsessed with the Ironside series. She really, really likes it.
Up to the 6th book, and I don't know what it is. Why is it my crack? I can't tell you.
I think all the characters, like all the men have very distinct personalities and they're like addicting. It's nice to see the dynamics.
It's honestly not just me though. There is a readers group on Facebook that I joined, and other people are worse than me.
Wow. No, I
Anyway.
respect it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll get to it when you read Ironside.
So, Lynn, why do you read dark romance?
I don't think I realized that I'm reading dark romance. That's why I read dark romance.
Lovely. All romance is dark romance. Really.
I'm just reading it because they're good. I think some of the ones that I've picked up, the Mafia ones that I've picked up, it's definitely because I like the morally grey man. I like the touch her and die type of thing. Also, a lot of them are billionaires and I want that kind of romance in my life.
Yeah.
I want a rich man that will just pay for everything.
Real. I like honestly, I'm thinking back and it's just like I'm way more likely to pick up a dark romance book than a contemporary romance. If I go through my history of books that I've read, the ratio would be very skewed towards dark romance compared to contemp. Like I don't think I'm up to date with all the contemp romances that are out on the shelves right now.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think contemp I read like once in a while, but then it's also kind of like the romantic-y ones that I read. A lot of them will probably lean more towards like a dark romance type of thing or like a darker type of theme. It just kind of naturally occurs, I guess. I think it's like an unconscious decision to be reading a dark romance.
Yes, I think because a lot of books, the conflict, like how easy is it to bring danger or peril or some sort of urgency if the main character gets kidnapped?
Yeah.
Or like,
Yeah.
you know?
I'm like trying to think about it now. I think subconsciously I gravitate towards what kind of affection I feel like reading. Because like when you read a contemporary romance, they're generally more comforting romances.
Yep.
Whereas when you're reading a dark romance, it literally is like a big
Obsessive.
Yeah. So it's like it's a very different type of affection.
Yeah. It's more consuming.
Dark romance is more like a grand gesture because like what they're doing is like on a scale of the shit they do. They're doing so much to set you apart.
Yeah.
Whereas I think in a contemporary romance you still have that element, but it's a lot more low key.
It's not as bad as you think. If you've been hesitant up until now to read dark romance because you're worried that, you know, it's not right for you or you're not really comfortable with some of the themes that come into these books, you do not have to read Haunting Adeline. You can definitely start off with one of like
Something
the
similar.
less dark books.
Do some Anna Huang.
Yeah, like remember it is a spectrum, so you don't have to dive in deep. But I definitely think they're more.
Yeah, just a basic mafia romance, like the Maid series by Danielle Laurie, Sweetest Obsession, Maddest, something. I think I'm just mixing up the titles just then.
Yes.
Just check trigger warnings.
Yeah,
No, that's all right. Just always read the trigger warnings. You'll need them.
because you'll realize what you can or can't do. Yeah.
But the other thing I realized too, so obviously I read a lot of wide shoes. There is not that much contemporary, if any, wide shoes that's
All of them
contemporary.
are
Most of
darker.
it is dark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why?
Because it's a taboo subject.
Yeah, I guess so.
Actually, you're right. Yeah, I think it is a bit taboo.
You know what else though? I feel like with dark romances, especially with like the sex scenes that happen in it, it's so much more unhinged. So it's more acceptable.
Oh, never mind.
Sorry, it is more graphic. It is more graphic. It is more graphic. But like in a dark romance, what they're doing seems a lot more acceptable. It's like more graphic in the description of what's happening, but it's like the things regarding like certain equipment being used, certain tools that get used or whatever. It's so much more
Tools?
tools. It's a lot more unhinged in a dark romance because it can be unhinged. Like you can't be doing that stuff in a contemporary romance or like anything like that because that's too shocking. The factor is too...
I think that's kind of it because it's almost like when you're reading a wide choose, how do you make it spicier than it already is in a contemporary?
Yeah.
That's true.
Make it dark.
Yeah, make it dark. Have multiple men come at her at the same time.
Oh my God.
Have 10 men line up and come at her.
Wow. I meant Lynn.
I was like,
Sorry, baby Hannah.
I thought you just like read my thoughts and I was like, oh.
What were your thoughts? What did you say?
I'm not going to say it.
What thoughts did you have?
What did she say? I was going to say something like
Oh, I said something about 10. Have like 10 men
like,
come at her.
come in her.
Oh.
And I went, If there are any dark romance books that you loved and we didn't mention in today's episode, please let us know. I personally would love to get on it. I'm sure Jess can add it to her TBR. Lynn's probably already read it.
Maybe. Probably.
If you want to hear more episodes like this, make sure you leave a like or comment below and let us know. Also, please share this episode with anyone who you think might enjoy it. And if you like this and want to stay up to date with content, make sure to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Threads, and YouTube at Love at First Plot. Until the next episode, see you in the romance section.
Bye.
Bye.